Hey, what's up guys, it's Fisayo here, and in this video I'll be discussing my journey briefly on how I made almost $15,000 in 6 months as a graphic designer, just like I mentioned in my streams of income video, and this was before I fully started on YouTube. I will share my thoughts, my recommendations, and things that you should look out for when you're starting out as a graphic designer or just a freelancer in general. This video will have a ton of value, and I really hope someone is going to get something from this video. I think you're going to get something from this video if you're just starting out as a graphic designer or you're already experienced and would like to pick up a thing or two from this video. You're all welcome. But before we move on, gently tap that like button so more people would benefit from this video. You never know, this could be a video helping someone, as YouTube would recommend it to more people when you tap that like button. All right, without further ado, let's get to the video. So, quick introduction for those who are new to the channel. My name is Fisayo Fosudo. I'm Nigerian. I studied economics as an undergraduate in the University of Lagos. I loved economics even before entering the university. I loved art. I also loved art. I loved finance, and I loved technology. So this channel has sort of been like a testament to all my passions emerging into one space. I started out learning graphic design in my second year of university. It was one of the things I was super passionate about. I would randomly, walk around the school and pick flyers and posters and just draw or recreate them in any way I could. I had sort of a pictorial mind, and I loved and appreciated things that were well designed. But I just couldn't reinterpret all of those things, to the best of my abilities. And that's one of the things that brings me to the major point of this video. The first point, learning. One thing you should know as a beginner, you can never really know exactly how to do something unless you learn how to do it or practice it. To put it into sweeter words, your interpretation of your creativity is limited by your skills. You can have wild imaginations in your head, and there's so many ideas that you would have, but you just don't know exactly how to put it on paper or in Photoshop. So now for you to express this creativity, you have to learn that skill, you have to practice it, and you have to become more and more competent by doing it really every day. So an important note is that no one is born a designer or freelancer or with that ability. You can in fact learn anything. Now, if you haven't, you can just get a pen and write some of these things that I'll be saying down. One way I started, and this isn't a hard and fast rule, is that I started watching tutorials on websites like lynda.com, now LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, Skillshare, and YouTube. Yes, you can get tons of free valuable information like this video on YouTube as well. The first sort of tutorial I recommend for any graphic designer is an assault tutorial on typography. I think this is like the third time I'm mentioning this on the channel, but it's because it's that good. Apart from the fact that she's a professor of typography and she has put more than 35 years in, this course was super helpful for me, especially because the area of graphic design that I was specialized in was more information based than art or drawing based. I specialize in web design, so I had to present written information a lot. I designed websites, I designed magazines, I designed flyers, I designed posters. I designed a lot of useful projects that had a lot of typography, which, let's face it, many graphic design projects would require people to sell products. If you're making money from it, it will require typography essentially, putting words on art or typing something that sells. So this is the most crucial thing I think every designer should know. I've even seen very artsy designs or designers that can draw and create image concepts well, but don't know how to present or other text on a page, and that's just wrong. I've seen many high-profile designs with wrong use of typography, and trust me, there are rules and the rules are meant to be broken, but there are really terrible typographic designs. This tutorial and her other tutorials in our series would sincerely help boost your creativity in that aspect. Highly recommend it, and I'll leave links in the description below to download. Watch them. There are other tutorials I watched as well, like the foundation of color composition and contrast and scale, all in different categories on lynda.com or LinkedIn Learning. And these are things I studied during my journey. Of course, not everyone can pay 6,800 Naira or $14 for a 1-month subscription. A platform which has worked for me without fail is YouTube. You see, there are two major things you would almost always do when you're on your design journey. I believe not every designer can claim to know everything, so one thing you will and should be doing on your design journey is heading onto Google and searching for solutions like how to create noisy drop shadows and special effects, things like that. And one thing to note is that Google is the biggest search engine. YouTube is the second biggest search engine, and YouTube is owned by Google. So some of the results you will find on Google will lead you to a YouTube video tutorial, and creators on this website can teach you for free. The second thing to note, and this is very important, make sure you listen carefully. The second thing to note is that you should hit that like button if you're finding this video useful. All right, just kidding. Another thing to note is that you should have fun with the process and try to drop any assumptions that you have before learning something, and see how much you can absorb. See how you can absorb as much of what you're learning as you can. So at this stage in my design career, I hadn't made so much money when I was learning, but I really genuinely loved what I was doing and getting at, and so far I had $0 to show for it. Now to the next phase, working for people. As a graphic designer, when you're first starting out, if you're not directly employed, you definitely need to do some work for as many people as you possibly can to grow your income, or work on as many projects as you can. And because design is very subjective, you have to live with the fact that you might not be good enough, but that's okay. If you can, and I think you should, when you're starting out, you want to make a bunch of free designs or lower paid project designs, anything you can find that you can learn from, but you have to make sure it's meeting the needs of the patronizing party, aka the client or the person. Don't take any feedback personal. You have to accept that you're just starting out, so make sure you're learning on the way. At this phase for me, I was an intern in my second year of university as an undergraduate. I did my internships in 2 different companies, and I really didn't get paid a ton of money, but I learned a lot. And I also did designs for my university department. I did designs for events, presentations, most times for free. And I also did designs for some of my friends who wanted to organize events, conferences, parties, and things like that. Those were sometimes paid. And in all those processes, I listened clearly to what was being said and required. I deciphered the brief, and I always got to work. Always understand the brief and always ask the clients as many questions as possible. It now got time for me to freelance, and this is where things started to change for me. You see, I was able to start working for around like $500 online, at least when I was making a book design for like $250, $400, sometimes even $500. I did that consistently on sites like Fiverr, Upwork, 99 Designs, Crowdspring, and I even got to one of the highest levels anybody could get on those websites, like as a graphic designer. Within that time, I figured out that the tools you use are very important. I already touched on the fact that you should be learning, but what was super crucial now is that I needed to have the right tools. This meant I needed a very fast computer. I needed a fast mouse with buttons. And one tip you should know is that if you're using a mouse, make sure you set the speed of the mouse to be very fast. So that way it cuts down a lot of time. Some small microseconds that you can't see moving your mouse, you're dragging stuff here and there very fast. It might be jittery in the beginning, but trust me, you're going to get used to it eventually. And some people would prefer a stylus. You need a wide screen as well. So this would help you become more efficient and a more reliable designer. Being a reliable designer meant I responded to the client I was designing for almost immediately, regardless of the time. And we're talking about different time zones here. It meant that I didn't copy other people's work. And even when you're taking inspiration, you're crafting something truly unique and done by you. Don't copy, as that would get you into trouble faster than you think. Speaking of reliability, which is a major way your income can and will grow, make sure you understand the clients and make sure that you understand the client's wants. Make sure that when you give your designs, you thoroughly explain those designs. Explain why you added a button, explain why something was special about your design, explain what you did right, and explain what you did different. I found that this made the changes to my work much lesser. It made the client trust my judgment more, and it overall made my workflow way smoother. Understanding your clients involves studying their brand wholly. It involves understanding their assets. It involves understanding the brand and the brand colors, the meaning of the brand, everything. Just make sure you know what they want to achieve with a certain design or a certain project, and see how this design you're tasked to create is going to solve a problem for them. Research is very key at this point, and the last thing you want to be is that designer that delivers something other than what they want, you won't get far if you rush the process. So take your time to understand every single aspect before putting the mouse to the pad or before grabbing your stylus. Now, with regards to the money making tips at this phase, try to ask your clients if there is any other thing you can help them achieve. I know this might sound cliche, but for real, just ask. If you're tasked with designing a web page, for instance, you can ask the client if they want a mobile design version. If the client wants an app design, you can ask, hey, do you have developers? You can partner with maybe your friend who can develop for you, and you guys can share a commission. Asking for more work and also asking the client to recommend you can really help you get far. I know, because recommendations have helped me get from $500 a month to $1,000 a month to making $1,000 per every single project sometimes. And it just mattered how many projects I wanted to work on and for how long. I was even able to retain some clients, all over the world for quite a while, and I did a bunch of designs for them. It was at this point that we were able to get to almost $15,000 in 6 months. The early funding I got to start this channel mostly came from graphic design work, and it really has helped me create so much value that I couldn't even think of, at least relatively, in that short while. Now, one thing any designer should note and can help them grow their income is also understanding and being wise about money. I had an enlightenment last year, and it changed my view on money, and it was part of the reasons why I started the Finance Friday series, apart from the tech videos which we've been doing for 4 years, which, by the way, we have a bunch of reviews coming. I have giveaway winners to announce on the channel and some interesting projects lined up for you guys. Two of the questions that people have asked me a lot is, how much do you charge, or how do you charge? What platforms do you use? With regards to how much you should charge as a freelancer, you can start charging small, but always give value. And then on the next project, you can test a higher amount, and then a higher amount, and then a higher amount. Add more services to what you're delivering and charge for it. This is exactly what I did. I started with 5,000 naira per design here in Nigeria, 10,000 naira. I went up to $500 online. I tested $1,000. I tested $2,000. I tested two. You get the idea. Now, with regards to the freelancing platforms, most freelancing platforms charge a percentage of how much you charge your client. That's how they make money. They give you exposure to clients, and then you get paid. After a while, you might not need to use the platform, and you would be working independently. This way, you're able to charge properly. And one platform I used was Payoneer, which is also in partnership with many of the aforementioned platforms. One thing I like about Payoneer now is that with the recent update, you can receive your money in dollars directly to your domiciliary account here in Nigeria, although for a small fee. However, it can be annoying. For instance, if you charge like $3,000 or the client's budget is $3,000 and a platform takes 30%, it leaves you with like $2,100. That can be a huge loss. And not only that, when it gets to Payoneer, you get a small fee for withdrawing. So yeah, you've almost lost $1,000. And one way I started charging after all this was with Bitcoin. And an app I highly recommend, which is actually one of the biggest, if not the biggest, cryptocurrency trading app by market size, is Binance. It's a global cryptocurrency exchange, and I like that they even let you withdraw, directly to your local currency, at least in Naira, via P2P, which is even much faster and, of course, more secure, if you will. So if your client is able to pay a certain amount, all you need to do is to send them your wallet address or your public key, which is like your account number, and you can be sure to get an amount in minutes. Most of these platforms have like a 48-hour payment window. It can go as high as 72 hours even. And if you want to get Binance, I'll leave a link in the description. That's what I use to charge these days. And fun fact, with my referral link below, you can get 5% commission on your trade. So it's free money for you. This video wasn't sponsored by Binance, by the way. I, however, could get a certain percentage, the same way you get a 5% percentage when you download my link. So do check it out. I've been using their service for quite a while, at least this year, and their interface is actually fun and straightforward with all the cryptoness. And if you want to know how to trade Bitcoin in Nigeria, especially after the CBN ban, I have a video linked below that can help you do just that. But make sure you download the app first. Now, finally, one way to grow your income as a designer is pushing your designs out there, marketing yourself. Don't be shy, because if you are, you're gonna be broke. So let's do a quick recap. First of all, you've learned design, you've practiced, you've studied. That's the first point I made. Now you're able to start working with clients. You've tested the waters. Now you're able to understand the client's brief, you understand their brand, you have done your research, you understand what the client wants. Now you understand your finances and you understand money. This is where you now want to grow your brand, your business, and you want to market what you have to offer. A very good way is to join a portfolio or showcasing websites like Behance, which is a very dope place to post your designs, and sites like Dribble. Not only are these websites super dope for inspiration, I browse it almost every other day for inspiration when I want to design or when I just want to get inspired. You can post it there and you never know, a client might just like your work and hit you up to hire you. Dribble is an invite-only platform that has a way of letting people know you are available for work. I believe this is also on Behance. And it's also on LinkedIn as well. You can also leverage your social media feed like Instagram and Twitter. You can put valuable design content and you can build your own portfolio, your own work, sort of a portfolio way that you're able to get access to a larger audience, even from your own circle. Those are most of the things I've learned over the years that has helped me grow my income as a designer and now a YouTuber. And now I don't design that much anymore. Publicly, at least. I've deleted many of my profiles to focus on YouTube, to focus on this channel, and I say that these tips are still very valuable. And let me know, is there anything you think I should have talked about? Is there any question that you have for me as a designer? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll be glad to help out. Do give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful, and it will help more people discover these tips. And yeah, subscribe for more Finance Friday videos like this, and hit the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when I post any video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.